So welcome to week 2 of the Goodwin boxing programme. This week we've got myself, Martin Theobald, we've got Adriane Steve, we've got Kelvin Young, we've got Keith Mayo down the end. We'll introduce who they are later on. So we're following on from a really successful week 1 where we had lots of interaction with people, so I'm hoping that we'll get exactly the same again this week. The idea is that as much as you can ask us, we'll look to answer. Steve's willing to answer any questions about the promotion. Hopefully the guests will be willing to answer any questions that you've got about their careers and, in Keith's case, the management. We've got Robin Deakin watching us. Hi, Robin. So let's start off then with a review of Goodwin boxing over the last week. So we've got a lot to look at, starting with the action from York Hall.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Johnny Garton won the English title and became our first English champion. If you haven't seen the punch, you want to go and have a look at it. It's probably as good a punch as Alvarez knocked Khan out with, if not better. And it was great for us to celebrate an English champion. There's some good stuff on the undercard as well. Luke Watkins' fight was good and a lot of exciting prospects on the card, so that was great. We're in the process of trying to negotiate a really exciting fight for Floyd Moore in defence of his Southern Area title at Portsmouth on the 9th of July. We won't announce anything till we get contracts signed because there's too much that goes on in boxing. And thirdly, for those of you who watched last week and saw Kay Prosper with his Chat Shit Get Banged episode, you will notice that he was then called out by Siar Ozgul on the basis that Siar Ozgul was ready and willing to fight him. Well, an offer was made yesterday at 4 o'clock and we're still waiting.
So can you clarify who is management, who is...
Well, he's managed by Mickey Elliott, who they issue about 3 different blogs saying that Kay wouldn't fight. As far as Kay's concerned, it's got to be for a title that he's aiming for, which is up the Southern Area English-British route. We're not interested in Mickey Mouse international titles. We want to go we're going down that route. And for Kay, at the present time, we're negotiating for an English final eliminator for July. But we have offered Siar Ozgul what I consider to be a decent package. And Martin, you've seen that yourself, haven't you?
I can verify. Yeah, I mean, for the title and for the level we're talking about, if the numbers of tickets that Mickey Elliott stated last week through his blog stack up, then yeah, it's a lot of money involved.
A lot of money involved, but they haven't come back and accepted it. So all I would say is, please shut up and go away and stop mentioning our boxers unless you're prepared to step up and fight. That's what it is. At the end of the day, Siar Ozgul is a good fighter. He's very talented. I wouldn't disrespect him as a fighter, but don't call for something and then get offered a substantial deal and then just walk away from it. It doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, we'll close the subject now. We won't discuss it again. You know, at the end of the day, they've got the opportunity to take it if they want.
And hopefully this time next week, you can give us a definitive answer, one way or the other.
If we've heard nothing now, next week we'll move on. And at the end of it, stop. You know, really, there's no point just calling out our fights for no reason, is there? Just to get publicity, it's nonsense.
Danny Connor, did I hear Floyd Moore? Laughing faces. I don't know. Yeah, Danny, is that a fight that interests you? Let us know. Moses has joined us. You are Moses, one of my favourite boxers out there, one of the most skilled and underrated, and we all know what you do, Moses. You're a star. Yeah. So, going back to Goodwin boxing, Johnny Garton, obviously your first English title holder. What does that mean for you? You know, 5 years last year, you celebrated in the sport and now you're your first English title holder. Is that a significant step and shows the kind of levels now that you're moving on to?
Definitely. I think my thing about boxing, and you know, we come in from a non-boxing background as such, but I've learned a hell of a lot. I'm a fast learner. And what does annoy me about boxing is people talking about what they are going to do. What we try to concentrate on is what we do. And I think it just shows once again that Goodwin boxing is a team that will actually do things for fighters. Not even fights that we look after, we try and do the right thing by everybody. And rather than just, you know, talk, we deliver. And for Johnny, everything we told him we'd do, we delivered. And we do the same for every other person in the sport that we deal with. And I think that's what we're trying to demonstrate.
Excellent. So in terms of then moving on, we're going to take a review of what happened last week. So we've got 3 areas to look at. So we've got Khan Canelo, we've got the show itself, and we've got Anthony Crolla. So I'm going to fire it this way. So Kelvin and Keith, Khan Canelo, how much you see of it? What do you make of it?
I just think you know, you've got to take your hat off to Amir Khan for taking that fight, jumping up to a middleweight. It's a massive jump.
Yeah, it was a massive jump for him.
I just think, you know,
Maybe too much.
Is it bravery or stupidity?
money talks at the end of the day. £6 million in your back pocket. Then,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a
you
brave shot for him, but it seems to touch too far, jumped up so quick
Yeah.
weight-wise like that.
Yeah, I mean, he was holding his own.
But he was doing well for the first few rounds there. That was a terrific knockout.
Yeah, one chest. It was.
Yeah.
You know, what I look forward to now is, you know, Canelo and Golovkin. I think that's.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon it'll happen?
Going to be. I think it's got to happen. I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's talks about it already, and Canelo said he's up for it.
Politics, weights. Will that stop it happening?
No, I just think, you know, I think it's too big a fight to turn down for both of them. I think it's going to generate so much money.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a great fight.
Yeah. And Adriane?
Yeah, I think Khan, he did a good job. I can't believe the judges' scorecards. Obviously, they had Alvarez winning going into round 6. So I think they had like Alvarez winning by 3 and Alvarez winning 3 of the rounds, Khan by 2. I think Khan was a little bit more ahead than that. But I think he dared to be great. I think if more boxers took risks like that, then the only people that would be benefiting would be the boxing fans out there. Obviously, this time it came a bit unsure. But ultimately, I think it was a good decision. As Kelvin said, money talks. He's got a good, healthy bank balance now, even better than he did have before. So, yeah, fair play to him.
So we're talking about Golovkin, Canelo. What about Khan Brook? Do you ever see that? I know Khan's come out and said it.
I definitely think that's a fight that's going to happen. I know Eddie Hearn's very keen to. There's been talks previously about it happening. I think it'd be interesting. I know a lot of people go for Brook, some people go for Khan. So I think that's definitely going to be a fight that we see down the line. What are your views on it?
Me? I don't think it will happen.
Do you not think so?
No.
Khan's already said that there's bigger fights for him in America with bigger money.
I think maybe when Khan's like not coming back down, but I think it might happen in the future as fights don't happen for Khan.
I just think Khan holds all the cards, ironically, because he holds no world title, but he has the big name, and who else do they get for Brook at the moment? I don't think Khan wants to give him the payday, in my view. Steve, as a promoter?
To be honest, at that level, it's about the money, isn't it? It's totally about the money, and you know from James DeGale and Selby that they're signed with Al Heyman because they get the bigger money in America. I mean, Josh was obviously on some phenomenal deal to stop him going, but the rest of them now, it looks like bit by bit they're running off to Al Heyman. There's not the money here that there is there. I know Eddie says that they'd make more money on the pay-per-view, but you know, at the end of the day, if they would make more money on the pay-per-view, then you'd have to argue that their management's not very good, and you'd probably argue that the people looking after them do know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So on that basis, the money in America is better. If the money's much better there for Khan, he'll stay there.
All right, we'll move on. Your show at the weekend.
Yeah.
We've touched on Garton.
Yeah.
What else kind of stood out for you from the night?
I thought Jack Rains looked really great in his debut. It's his first fight. He's only a young kid, and I thought he looked brilliant. When you actually review a card, you don't want to miss people out because they all fought well. The Ryan Crawford fight, where he got a draw against Strupix, was an exciting fight. He'll come back from that, and it was just filled with a lot of exciting fighters and people that are going to develop in the future. It wasn't the greatest one of our cards for 50-50 fights or anything like that. It was the Johnny Garton show, really. That was the #1 fight, and the Watkins Cruz fight was good at cruiser. The rest of them really were kids coming up, developing, coming back, and it was that type of card, really. And you do have to have that. Sometimes you have those type of cards, and you know, we're building up now to a humongous show in July, which is going to probably have 7 or 8 50-50s on it. And that's basically what. But you can't do that every show because you can't subject kids that are 3 and 4 and they're developing and learning their trade.
Yeah.
But once fighters get to the top level or the decent level, then that's fine. Like we're doing the Kelvin Young Jack Morris fight, which we'll obviously touch on later. But the show was great. Every fighter I thought done really well. That fought, they all got the wins apart from Ryan, who had a draw. And I think we all move on now and develop going forward.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly feedback. Blaine Courtney, had Khan won? Imagine the conversations we'd all be having now. Yeah, unfortunately, not. Robin Deacon says, Garton, I said in 4 rounds, ask Adriane.
He actually did.
He did?
Yeah, literally, like, I was watching the fight with him, and I think, like, round 1 to 3, I think Ryan feels it was kind of like getting the better of Johnny Garton a little bit. I think Johnny Garton is a slow starter, But in round 4, he completely found his feet, completely found his rhythm, literally came out the corner like a different fighter. And Robin Deacon was saying, I'm telling you, 4th round knockout. And I'm like, no way. Out of nowhere, this left hook lands, literally KO, good night. So, yeah, his prediction was spot on.
So were you sat with Robin?
Yeah, I think he was sat there right in front of me. But,
Robin had found a woman to sit next to him.
Yeah, something like that.
It surprises me. Robin, I've never seen you near a woman at a boxing show. Darren Gillen, also a great atmosphere in York Hall. I think like when Johnny came out, that place went mad.
I think as well after he won, like literally, I saw a video of all of his fans coming down the stairs.
Right.
Literally, his fans are literally like no other. He always brings like a good crowd.
Yeah, they were fantastic. Aidan Hayes, what's next for the Mexican? Because his stable mate Bradley Skeet has got the British.
Well, he won't be fighting Bradley Skeet, that's for sure. We'll be looking for a defence for Johnny in September. And then as Bradley moves on, we'll be hunting down the British title. Wouldn't it be an amazing feat if Johnny could come from absolutely nowhere and go and win a British title? And do you know what? It's not beyond the realms of possibility the way he's improving.
Okay, I'm just going to hold it. So it says broadcast interrupted. Check your connection on mine. Don't know if you lot are alright.
No, for I might be just your.
No, just me.
Might be your feed from that.
Robin Deacon shows me a tenner teller. Anto Upton, Goodwin puts on some top quality shows.
And Anto's been a part of it.
Anto's been a part of various ones of them. Evening Anto, you're right, mate. Danny Connor, Crawford is always in good, exciting fights. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Crawford drew. But that's one thing you can certainly say about him.
He's in good, exciting fights for the wrong reason. Because when I spoke to Ryan in great detail about it, he's got to improve his defence. And he's got, and I don't know if you know, but he's basically done this training himself for most of the time.
Right.
It's got to stop. He's got to get some proper technical training and improve his defence. And I'd rather him be in a little bit more less entertaining fights and get the wins. And that's what we're going to be working on now, is getting him a full-time trainer that's going to do the right job for him.
Okay, I'll come back to the interactions shortly. So keep firing them in, and we'll come back to them in a minute. Anthony Crolla. What do you guys reckon? Because I think the only one that picked Anthony Crolla to win was Candice Collier, the ring girl, last week. So that shows our expertise. Because we all picked Barroso. What do you guys think of?
See, with Barroso, obviously he's come out of nowhere. Obviously with that big win he had. But,
yeah.
You know, my coach Joe Ronan and Steve Dockett was up there. And I remember when he had that big win, that you know, they was chucking money on him to win. And I was sort of looking on Facebook and seeing it, I thought, no one knows nothing about this guy.
Yeah.
And then he went in and stopped Kelvin Mitchell. So I expected a lot more from him on Saturday night, but
yeah,
it wasn't to be. I think Qualla's a different level to what he's used to facing, and Qualla's really come out of nowhere.
I was going to say,
Do you think he just missed the pace? Do you not think he just went out far too quickly and he didn't pace himself properly? He thought he was going to blast him out, didn't he? And then he just shot his bolt.
See, Qualla as well has got a great engine on him. And boxes and moves lovely, doesn't he? I think.
I didn't think Brewster would come out like that. I mean, he literally had 4 or 5 rounds in him. That's all he had in him. You can't fight a world title fight like that. It's just crazy preparation. Whoever instructed you to do that should be shot.
I think he's probably one of them fighters. If you don't get you out there early, I think down the street.
Yeah, perhaps.
He just ain't got it.
Perhaps.
And what do you reckon, Adriane? Do we see Crolla Flanagan?
I'd quite like to see Crolla Jorge Linares, to be honest. Obviously, he did a devastating KO against Kevin Mitchell back in, I think it was like May last year.
He seems to be on the wrong end of
so, to be honest, I think the Flanagan fight definitely is possible, but I think seeing him against Linares would also be a cracking fight as well.
Yeah. And yourselves?
Yeah, Linares, I remember watching him a few years back and I thought, he's a very good fighter.
Yeah.
I just think that's a
very
great
good fight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Alright, so we'll move on then in terms of previewing this weekend. So I think the first place to start would be Lee Haskins and Eric Morales. What do you guys know?
I don't really know much about this Morales, but Haskins, I think he's another one who's just down the road from me. And
yeah, I was going to say your neck of the woods.
He's an awkward customer. I remember being in the gym with him not long ago, and he showed me some of the moves that he does, and
he's a unique style.
He's got a unique style,
Yeah, he has.
So I think, I think that's another big one on the card. And if he can pull that off,
yeah.
do
you think he will?
I think I've got a route for the Southwest board.
Yeah.
I think he will. Yeah.
Yeah.
it'd be a points decision, but yeah, I'll see Lee hanging in there and getting the win.
And yourselves, what do you reckon?
I think Lee Haskins on points. I don't think it's going to be a stoppage, to be honest.
I think Lee Haskins wins, but I've got to give credit for the card. I think this is the first game with the Goodwin card on Channel 5. And I would say it's of substantial better quality than McKenzie was doing in depth. I think it's a really great card.
It's got British title fight on the undercard.
Great card Barry's put together, and I think he deserves full credit for doing that.
Yeah.
The whole card's good.
Excellent. So we've got Jack Cattrall, Joe Hughes as well, English title fight, light middleweight.
Right, I think I've got an interest in this division because we've got McKee Noble and Kay Prosper. So
like welterweight, isn't it? Not like middleweight.
So like welterweight. I mean, I think Cattrall wins. I think Hughes is a good fighter. I think Cattrall's a special fighter. But I've definitely got a box or two looking out for Joe Hughes.
Yeah?
So, yeah. We hope to be bringing Mr. Hughes down to London.
Alright, Joe Hughes, you hear that? What do you reckon, Adriane?
I don't actually know these fighters that well, to be honest, but I know when Rakeem fought against Sahal Ahmed, that wasn't a fight that I was expecting to go that way, to be honest. But I
It's been a
think
blast out.
yeah, literally, it was like everyone was getting on the canvas for a minute. But I think if that's a fight that does come to London, I know that it was Rakeem never ever shies away from fights, so I think that would be something that he would be interested in.
Yeah. And what do you guys think?
Yeah, for me, I've been around Joe Hughes a lot of my amateur career. I've obviously been boxing on a few shows with him.
Yeah.
I was my neck of the woods again. I'd love for him to pull it off, but we'll see. I think
Cattrall's a bit special, isn't he?
He's come out of nowhere really.
It's
Hasn't
a tough
he?
fight.
Really good.
Two great fighters, isn't it? Two great fighters. Excellent.
Joe Hughes is coming off with some good wins against unbeaten lads. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good fight. So I'm
Good
really
fight. I mean, at the end of the day, what you've got to look at from our point of view is that I'd rather fight the Joe Hughes after Jack Cattrall than the Joe Hughes before Jack Cattrall.
Yeah,
So that's what that's my job, right? So we're there to. We'd rather. I think he's going to have a hard. Whoever happens, they're going to have a really hard fight. Both of them. It's going to be a hard fight.
Yeah. Okay, then finally, in terms of previewing things, your own show this weekend.
It was Kevin's promoting. It's one of the Goodwin boxings. It'll be the first show in 6 years I'm not getting to. So as I've said to everybody, I've double booked this with a wedding, and I think if I'd gone to the boxing rather than the wedding, I'd have had a very expensive divorce on my hands.
And your wife is watching this, I've seen.
So the wedding one, and obviously my wife has got to come first before anything else. So we've got to do the right thing. As far as the show's concerned, it's got 17 fights on. There's some really exciting talent on board. Duke Meek, who fought in the Olympics, Mickey Amu's got him. Richard Comey gets a world title shot this year, and this is the second of Mickey's proteges. So to go to York Hall and watch somebody who's going to fight for a world title at some point is going to be great to see. He fights Solakini, the Georgian, who's very tough. Really, that's going to be a great fight.
Well, he's 16-0 with 15 knockouts, isn't he?
16 knockouts.
Is it 16?
They all go. Then we've also got Danny Connor, who obviously everybody knows. He's a great guy, entertaining, brings a great crowd, and he's on a 6-round base. It's always great to have Danny on. Matt McCarthy's 14-1. He's continuing his development. Carl Wheeler tops the bill in an international challenge belt fight after his great fight with Biola Kudos last time. And that was an amazing fight.
That was
another two-round
war, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2-round war. Jordan Joseph is somebody I think will be on everybody's lips in 2 or 3 years in the light heavyweight division. He's having his 5th fight. He's undefeated. Adam Dingsdale, one of my recent signings. We're going to be making waves with him. He's seen what I've done for Johnny Garton, who's his stablemate, and giving him home advantage in an English title. We hope to be able to do that for Adam at some point in the lightweight division. Dwayne Sinclair's having his 2nd. Max Lovell's having his 4th fight. Adrian Martin, great kid. He's improving all the time. Dino Richardson, a real exciting talent from over in West London. Mark Little, who I think will be a real special cruiserweight. He comes from the unlicensed scene. He lost 8 stone in weight. He's trained by Paul Cook. He throws bundles of punches. And I think Mark Little in a few years, and he will be managed correctly, will get to the very top. And I'll be doing my very best. He's one of the nicest guys you'll meet. Josh Nelson's coming off a loss last time against Keith Dean Evans. Josh isn't managed by Mickey Amu. He's on his way back. Ozzy Jervier, 3-0, 3 KOs, cruiserweight, exciting cruiserweight, devastating puncher. You just don't blink when he fights. Debut of Jamani Camero. He's out of the Barry O'Connell production line in Hammersmith. Jamani's a really exciting talent. Bradley Smith has his 4th. He's a good kid. He's only 19. Dalton Miller fights Jesse Goodwin Tate. If Dalton comes through this, there's a potential of a big summer showdown with John McCallum, and that will be very, very tasty indeed. Jesse Goodwin Tate, don't write him off. He's an exciting kid, and he'll be coming and doing his very best. And Joe McCrory, Big Punching Joe, has his 4th fight. We've got so much exciting talent, and these fighters here that we're seeing on the undercard in 12 to 18 months are going to be competing in some of the headline shows at York Hall. The whole group here, you can see we're going to have some sensational fights in the next 12, 18 months.
Yeah, so it's a breeding ground and nurturing.
Yeah, you've got some of the fights we've got that we have, the fights I managed, we're nurturing through, and some are reaching the title aspirations. But, you know, how this is going to develop in the next 12, 24 months, I think it's going to be sensational. We've managed a lot of fighters now, and there's going to be some sensational titles and shows down in London and elsewhere for us.
Alright, so let's go to some interactions then. So let's scroll back up.
You've got one from the Goodwin boxing page, Martin JP. Hi Martin, Theobald, long time watcher, first time messenger. Can you ask Steve, is Clay Prosper's opponent close to being revealed? I'm assuming that's for the David Hay undercard.
Very difficult with Clay Prosper, as you see from everybody likes to talk about fighting him, but nobody wants to fight him. So we are still working on it. If anybody's brave enough, come forward. That's what we say to everybody. But they like to talk about it, but don't want to sign. But yeah, we'll get somebody. But as I say, with Clay Prosper, we haven't got somebody sorted yet. Kevin's been working really hard on it, but we will get somebody sorted without a doubt. But we can't name anybody yet.
Yeah. Evening, JP. Not seen you since Saturday.
And sorry I didn't ring you back today. I've been snowed under. We'll bring you back tomorrow.
Paul Harris, where do you see Adam Dingsdale in the next year?
English champion and winning it on home soil rather than having to travel away like he has done before.
Yeah.
Full stop, end of story.
Ricky Wright, how good did Dave Birmingham look? It's so hard to land on late, but he made it look easy. I'll tell you myself, Dave Birmingham looked superb. He's a very compact fighter. I was sat ringside, and yeah, I mean, Christian Lay working out of his half guard as he always does, and the angles that Birmingham got on him were something special. So keep an eye out for Dave Birmingham, ex-pro footballer, looked good. Blaine Courtney, Prosper versus Divine, please make it, Steve.
I can only make fights that people want.
If you can put any fight, if you can put together any fight, what would it be? I assume that means within your
Clay
stable.
Prosper against any decent fighter that wants to face him. Full stop.
Brad Rogers, Steve, have you any intention to get your shows on TV?
We've always got an intention to get a show on TV. You started me on this, but it's got to be TV that's beneficial to the boxers. I'm not going to mention names, but people take these so-called TV deals, make big announcements, and the TV doesn't work because there's no money in it for the boxers. And I think promoters take TV deals for ego, and to try and give it the big one for themselves rather than for the boxers. For us to take a TV deal, it's got to have longevity, it's got to benefit the boxers financially, it's got to reduce their ticket sale burden, and it's got to help the quality of the shows. I don't have an ego. I don't do it for ego. Nobody at Goodwin Boxing has an ego. We do it for the right reasons. We will get it one day, I'm sure, but we're not going to be just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. Gary Barron, go on, Kelvin Young. Nice to see you. Blaine Courtney, when will we see Josh out again? I assume you mean in the ring, not on the piss. I think that's November. Last time I spoke with Josh, I'm getting a thumbs up. So yeah, you probably see him in the pub. It's his birthday before then, I believe. Darren Gillen, can you buy a half-season ticket for the Goodwin shows for June to December?
No, because your season ticket runs 12 months from when it runs. It's only 199 quid, so we just run it 12 months from when you buy it. So we don't do half-season tickets. It'd just be crazy. So you get it for the whole year. So no matter which time of the year you buy it, it runs for the 12 months from that. So if you buy it in June, it can run to the next.
So it's not calendar year.
It's not calendar year. No. So you could just, if you buy it in June, it will expire next June. So there's no problem with doing that, though.
Okay, excellent. Right. That's it pretty much from the interaction. For now, what we'll do is we'll do a couple of other bits and we'll come back to them, so keep firing them in. So, right, we're going to turn our attention now to Adriane.
Hello.
Adriane Bowes. How you doing? Right, so, can you give people who are watching a bit of background about yourself? So, you may think that Adriane sounds particularly knowledgeable, and she is, and she's not just knowledgeable, she's also a boxer. Crack on.
Okay, so I first got into the sport when I was about 12 years old. Started off kickboxing, got my black belt first dan way back when in like 2004. I then moved into Thai boxing just to mix things up a little bit, and then I moved over to Spain. And when I was living in Spain, I found that the level of Thai boxing was quite poor. So I thought, okay, in order to like learn and progress whilst I was obviously over there, I thought I'd just stick to normal boxing. So that's what I did. I found that I had a little bit more talent or gift, if you'd like to say, with my hands. So when I did come back to the UK, I just carried on boxing. Obviously speaking Spanish, I just found myself in the right place at the right time. And I was asked to be like the interpreter for Roberto Duran whilst he was over here touring. So obviously great experience and something that was like I found really enjoyable. I've been living in London for 5 years. During that time, I've trained at a lot of the London gyms, so Fitzroy Lodge, Dale Youth. I boxed at the infamous Peacock Gym in Canning Town for a few years. With them, I won gold at the Harrogate Box Cup at Ali Pali.
And wasn't that in your first tournament, did I read?
Yeah, it was in my first tournament. I literally went in as a complete underdog. The beast, I'm not going to say girl, the beast I was fighting, she was literally like 5'11", like shaved head, like tattoos all up her neck. I literally thought she was going to eat me alive. But somehow managed to come out victorious. And yeah, I think from there, I had to move west with work. So I'm now carded at Stonebridge Boxing Club in Harlesden. Great setup there, really cracking gym. You've got Tox Owa and Paul Bowen, so pretty decent professional boxers from back in the day, heading up the training there. And yeah, it's just cracking facilities really. You've got, I know it's funded by Team Sutherland, so it really is a good setup. But yeah, I have to say I don't like compete as much as what I used to. I'm very much like a career woman at heart, so I'm an advertising manager, but needless to say, I'm still in the gym, getting the hard sparring with the lads, getting lots of pad work in, and you know, I will fight again, hopefully in September when the new season comes about. But yeah, to like advertising and marketing and that sort of thing. But needless to say, I love boxing, it's my passion, I live it, I breathe it. I'd love to get into like boxing commentary or presenting or that sort of thing. So yeah, I think British boxing at domestic level is really exciting at the minute. Obviously, as Steve mentioned, the fight between Johnny Garton and Ryan Fields at the weekend, cracking fight. And I think the way that Steve, Olivia, Josh and Kevin continues to put on these really good shows, ultimately they're giving fight fans what they want to see, which is good competitive fights.
Yeah, and so you say you live and breathe it, but you're saying you attend nearly every show at York Hall.
Yeah, no, I literally I would rather go to a live boxing show than out with the girls. So literally most weekends, whenever there's a good boxing show, I'm there. So love watching live boxing. I love debating it with like knowledgeable individuals. Not so much like keyboard warriors, but people that know what they're talking about. I love getting into debate, making predictions, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I spoke a while back with Chantel Cameron, part of the GB squad. Hopefully we'll get into Rio. I think she's got an event coming up.
Yeah, I know she's got a qualifiers at 60 kg. I know Sandy Ryan as well. She's also a very, very good 60 kg female boxer. Yeah. I know it was kind of like between them. Yeah, that's correct. But yeah, Chantel Cameron, cracking boxer, so naturally gifted, it's unbelievable. So I really hope she does her thing, qualifies and goes off to Rio.
Chantel was saying about kind of, you know, obviously there's no professional women boxing in the UK.
Yeah.
So she was debating about the idea of possibly going overseas to do it, or looking at the idea of MMA. Based on like Holly Holm, it was around the same time she knocked out Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Holly Holm, coming from a kind of a boxing background. So in terms of like, you're saying you wouldn't intend to turn pro, but is it something you think that Britain ought to embrace, just women taking up professional boxing, or are you not a fan?
Do you know what it is? I think because female pro women boxing in the UK isn't what it is in the States. It's nowhere near as lucrative. I don't know whether there isn't like so much of an appetite for it. I don't know whether it's maybe the promoters that don't necessarily get behind it because they don't think there's an appetite. Maybe it's because of the quality and standard of female boxing, who knows. But I think if there is a good female boxer out there wanting to turn professional, doing it in England, I don't think it's a place to do it. Maybe, obviously, Jane Couch back in the day, she obviously started to like make movements within the industry. But I think in Germany and States, that's where women, professional women boxing gets more exposure. So I definitely say you'd probably, to do well, you'd probably have to box overseas.
Yeah.
Kelly Morgan's pro over here though, down in Swindon, isn't she?
Yeah.
You got Kelly Morgan, she's doing really well. So I think she's the only one
I don't
now.
know, actually.
There are a few, definitely.
Yeah.
There are a few that are doing the
She's a
thing, which
dominant,
is
She's
good.
a good kid.
In Britain. Yeah, she's got WBC silver title coming up.
Yeah, I know Alec Wilkie, he trains
That's
Areti.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I did some sparring with her a few years ago now, but yeah, she's completely making movement. I think she won like an interim world title or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely possibilities. I think you've got to be the kind of fighter to go out there and make opportunities for yourself, make it happen, make sure your manager's speaking with the right promoters, and if possible, getting you on some good shows.
So were you ever close to going down that GB route then? 'Cause
Yeah, I mean,
winning the Haringey Box Cup.
yeah, no, it definitely could have been an option. I've done some sparring with some of the girls down there, but yeah, I think I always wanted to like box alongside my career kind of thing. I never wanted to really pursue it as like a full-time kind
As
of
your
thing.
career.
Exactly. So I think what I'm doing now, I'm kind of able to balance my career with boxing, with like going to the live shows, enjoying it both inside the ring and outside of the ring. So I think right now I'm quite content with the way things are.
Excellent. All right. Anyone else got any questions for Adriane whilst we're here? No. Oh, that's right.
I've asked her questions right now, but yeah, what year did you start boxing? I think you told me.
Yeah, no, I started when I was 12 years old, so nearly 14, 15 years ago now.
And you've done K1 before that, was it?
Yeah, I did a bit of kickboxing, Thai boxing. Obviously, yeah, back in the day, there was obviously a lot of discrimination around female boxing. The amount of gyms that I've walked into and literally been shown the door straight away is unbelievable. So I think, obviously, Nicola Adams winning gold at the 2012 Olympics, it's completely opened the door. If you go into many gyms now, I'd say 20 to 30% could be female. So I think the dynamics of the sport, especially in amateur gyms, have changed. And also the quality of female boxers has also increased. A lot of like, when you see like traditional like head coaches, they see a female walk into the gym and like, oh, here we go, another keep fitter kind of thing. Some of the girls out there, literally, the standard of boxing is completely excellent.
My little girl's, she's only 6 years old and she's mad for boxing. I've got two older boys, who's, 8 and 9, and they're mad for boxing as well. But my little girl, she always wants to go to the gym with them.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think I really want her to box.
I think it's good for self-defense.
I'll teach her how to box for self-defense.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. It's good for confidence as well.
So yeah, to clarify some of the questions on there or comments on there regarding there being professional boxers in the UK, yes, but it isn't. The British board don't allow it.
We do allow
They
it.
do allow it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's not true. What do you think of Max Budgeon comment? I think that's quite good.
Max Budgeon. When you're doing one of these with your pal Eddie Hearn, Martin. Me and Eddie get along really well. All right. We'll skip that one. Ben Day's joined us, Leon McKenzie, how you doing? Adriane Martin, RJ, Lawrence Bennett, how you doing, Lawrence? Top man. Brad Rogers, who do you see at your stable become your first Lonsdale champ?
Well, the nearest one to it is obviously Johnny Garden. He's probably going to be the first one to get a crack at it. But I think we've got 4 boxers that potentially could fight for a British title in the next year, 15 months. Johnny Garden's the nearest one to it. A lot can change. But I think we've got 4 or 5 that could definitely compete at a British title over the next 15 months.
You've got Joe Mullender going for the English.
Joe's going for the English title against Lee Markham. Well, that's obviously that's a tough fight for both Joe and Lee. 2 great warriors. It'll be a great fight. If Joe beats Lee Markham, then he could be on the route. And so much can change. It depends on individual fights. But we are getting fighters now. The English title is going to be something we're aiming for. Quite a few fighters and British eliminators are there. We really have got a fantastic stable brewing now. And we're going to be heading towards quite a lot of fighters at that level.
Yeah. Leon McKenzie, sending my regards to Kelvin and my girl Adriane.
Nice one, Leon. Nice
Hi.
one.
Leon is one of the nice guys you meet boxing. He's very, very respectful, isn't he? He's a good guy.
And of course, we'll come on to yourself and Leon shortly. Right, we're going to send Adriane off now in the nicest possible way because she's coming on to do something pretty cool later on and something that's not quite so cool later on. You'll find out what that is when the time comes. So we're going to turn our attention now to Kelvin Key. So let's introduce you both properly then. So we've got Kelvin Young, who is a light heavyweight who is fighting for Southern Area title soon. and manager Keith Mayo. So you both travelled up from Swindon for the day as well, which is great.
Like I say, it's a pleasure to be on Steve's show again. You know, the show that I was on last time was, you know, it was a great show. But I'm looking for, you made my dream come true for boxing at York Hall. Always wanted to box there, it's iconic. I'm really looking forward to. I've seen the shows that you put on at York Hall, and you know, I'm really excited. And like you say, how many fights are going to be on there? It's going to be a great day. A great couple of days, shall we say?
That's the Fight Festival happening in July.
Yeah, Summer Fight Festival, and it is some festival as well.
And you know, I'm going to be coming back, and I'm going to be a 2-weight 7 area champion, and you know, I'm not doubting that 1 minute.
Good.
I'm looking forward to it, and you know, we'll touch on Jack Morris in a minute, I suppose.
Yeah. So to clarify, you moved up now from super middleweight. You had the Leon McKenzie English title eliminator, wasn't it? At the Copper Box.
Yeah.
That was the one that ended in the first round stoppage with the count mishap.
Yeah.
Can you clarify what the situation was around that? Or?
Obviously, I'm not taking nothing away from Leon. You know, all the best in the rest of his career. But you know, I've been hurt a lot more than that in any of my fights. But I took a knee, took the 8 count. Maybe it's inexperience for myself, but I've done that before. And when I defended my RBO title, and I went on to win the fight.
Yeah.
But the referee, as I jumped up, the referee said I missed the count. Someone else just sent me a video a couple of days later of the count being slowed down, and there's no 9. But you know, like I said, I can't keep touching on that. It's in the past. I moved up to light heavyweight now, and I think it suits me to be a light heavy. And you know,
Leon McKenzie just said, "Mate, I'll be a cruiserweight. We're waiting for my next fight."
Well, listen, if you're going to be cruiser, then you're more closer to my weight for a rematch. So, yeah, all the best, Leon, and do well, mate.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you spoke at the time about possibly retiring after the Leon fight. So was that just
No.
Annoyed with it?
It wasn't that. I think I fell out of love with it a little bit. I think, you know, in the past when I got stripped from my RBO title, we took a fight on at light heavyweight. And I thought boxing at light heavyweight would secure if anything went wrong like it did.
Yeah.
My RBO title would be fine. And you know, I won that title in 2 epic battles. And the defence was, you know, one of the hardest fights I've ever been in. But and I had to sell a hell of a lot of tickets to win and defend that title.
Yeah.
And for them to strip me, you know, probably took a lot out of me. But,
Yeah.
You know, I fell out of love with the sport a long time ago, but I'm getting hunger back now, and you know, this fight with Morris on your show.
Yeah. So
it's really wetting the lips, so I'm really looking forward to it.
So you got the win after the Leon fight recently.
Yeah, obviously the first time being on your show down in Portsmouth.
And that was up at light heavy, wasn't it?
I was up at light heavyweight, yeah.
So do you find then the weight's easier to make for you? Like, clearly you've got that additional £7 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm obviously 6'2". I'm filling out. I started my career at middleweight. I had about 12 fights at middle, and I've done super middle and so on. But for the Leon fight, I had to cut down about 1.5 stone. But I think I walk around at 13.5 stone.
Yeah.
So to make 12.5 stone is really comfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot stronger with the weight.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it now.
Excellent. Excellent. And Keith, how is it for you bringing your lad home from Swindon down to York Hall? I mean, you've got him into the position now for the southern area. How's it been?
No, it's very good. I'd like to thank Steve Goodwin and all his team for allowing me to put some of the boxers I managed in the West Country, Swindon, Gloucester, etc. on some of his shoulders. Started off with Danny Carter, who was thrown in the deep end against a very good Floyd Moore back in October. And after that we had Kelvin, Young Box and Chris Ox down in Portsmouth for the light heavyweight challenge belt, British challenge belt, which he won. And on the strength of that, we've now got him against Jack Morris on July 16th at York Hall again.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of lads boxing at York Hall and on the Steve show this week. And it's good to see Luke Watkins and Little Average Swindon box last week, who had a good fight.
Luke did very well, yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's good. So we appreciate, you know, the chance to get some more boxers up here, which is mainly at York Hall. And as Kelvin said, it's a boxer's dream to box at York Hall.
Yeah.
when you look at the bloke, you wonder why, but that's the way it is.
Steeped in history and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah. How do you find that as a fighter? I mean, the place is just so iconic, and the fans over the top of the ring almost.
I remember just when I was an amateur as a kid, I used to get the boxing news, and you know, on nearly every page you got shows from your corner, every boxing news every week. And I just, you know, it was I just knew back then that it's always been a dream to box. Thanks to Steve for giving me an opportunity, and you know, I'm going to take it with 2 hands, and can't wait to get in there.
Yeah. All right. So you're getting in there with Jack Morris.
Jack Morris, yeah.
So how much you know about him?
Yeah, I went down to London for 2 days, probably about 8 or 9 months ago now, probably a bit longer. Because he was preparing for Baker. I've done two days of sparring, you know, done 18 rounds. It was very competitive.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was 50-50. He was coming down from cruiserweight then, and I was obviously still a super middleweight.
Yeah.
So he had the weight advantage, but now both at light heavy, I think it's going to be even more of a appetizer for the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't going to be selling tickets, but you know, I'm going to get a load of tickets. I'm going to push it as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fight that I win, and a fight that I'm really looking forward to, and becoming a 2-weight 7-area champion.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite a historic thing to do in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. There's only a couple of blokes from Swindon that's ever done that. Pete Neal, Ricky Porter, you know.
Yeah.
And that was going back a long time ago. So to be in that sort of bracket is it's amazing for me. Want to turn pro, and it's everything I ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how many are you expecting to bring over then? From
I've always had a big following, but you know, I'm not too sure. I'm going to start pushing it this week. We'll get the tickets and we'll start pushing it, and then you know, I think we get a big crowd hopefully.
And does it bother you being, I mean, the away fighter? You know, you're on Steve's card as a boxer. Does that, affect you? Or?
The last fight, obviously, that was the first time I've been in the away corner.
Yeah.
I obviously got the win, but you know, I woke up in the morning and you know, my partner said to me, "You're boxing tonight," and I was like, "Oh yeah." It just didn't feel like there was no nerves. There was no like real nerves going into it. You know, when you're a big ticket seller, you're every day building up to that fight. I'm pushing the ticket sale. So it's on your mind all the time, and being in the away corner is a big weight off your shoulders.
So there's a different mindset then to going into the home corner.
It's totally different. I think it's just a big weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, people ring you on the last day to sell tickets because it's important to sell tickets if you're in the home corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big weight off your shoulders, and you know, it's something that I think will play in my favour on the night.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to that.
So you seem nice and relaxed about it.
I can. Yes, like I say, it's always been a dream to box at your corner.
Yeah.
The title's you know, 2-weight 7-area champion. That's really gonna wet my lips even more.
Yeah.
And like I say, I just want to box regularly and earn some money for my kids, you know.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. And Steve, I mean, obviously it's your fight going in against him, and it was important for you, I think, to get not just your fighters on here, but you know, the opposition ultimately, which.
We treat everybody with respect. I mean, we're not. You know, I mean, Kelvin's a really nice guy, and I've got to know him. You know, this year, and Keith, I've been down to Swindon to meet Keith. He's a really nice man, and we want to give them as much publicity as everybody else because technically he's in the away corner, but for him it's a big fight as well as for Jack, and we'll have Jack on here as well at some later stage. At the end of the day, the best man winning. We spoke about judges, and I think in London, I think the best man wins. I don't think you get dodgy decisions at all in London, and I think the judges are very fair. So if Kelvin's the best man, then good luck to him and he can win. If Jack's the best man, then good luck to Jack as well.
Yeah, and good luck to you certainly for it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And Blaine Courtney, Keith, has sent in. Keith, whatever happened to Chris Higgs? He was a decent fighter.
Chris Higgs, he had a good career, but he just, you know, he had a couple of losses, and he just sort of decided it's time to sort of call it day and move on.
I think he was injured as well.
But he got injured for a while as well. I think that was the finish of it. But he was a good lad to promote, Chris.
Yeah.
He got
Big ticket seller,
good tickets, big tickets, good crowd with him.
Yeah.
We've got to see a comment. You've got a comment from Chris Mason, the darts player there as well.
Oh, Chris Mate, a man who knows his sports, involved with ITV4, I think, with the darts, isn't he?
Yeah.
Great idea using modern technology to bring brand and product awareness.
He knows about that. He's good. Chris, well known in darts, isn't he?
Yeah, I say a man who knows all about his sport. So thank you, Chris. It's, good. Right, so we'll move on. So we're now going to have a look at our bets of the week. John McCallum, good luck, Kelvin, top man.
Cheers, John. Thank you, mate.
We're going to take a look
Do
at our...
you know John?
I don't know him, but We've spoken on Facebook a few times. And,
It was nice touch on it.
Our bets of the week. So from last week, the only one that got anything right was Josh, who sat with a smug look on his face behind the camera. What did you go for? Canelo's stoppage. So if he'd have put £100 on, he'd have £57.14 profit. Whereas Kevin, myself and Steve would have fuck all left. Yeah, so bets of the week this week. We're going Kev, Andrew Selby at 1-20 to win the British title. With bet 365. Josh Lee Haskins at 2-9 to win with Boyle Sports. Myself, Lee Haskins, 4-17 with Marathon Bet. And Steve, you're going Andrew Selby 1-20.
There's not much on this weekend, is there?
No. So what we're going to do is keep an updated league table, and whether or not I read it each week depends on how well I'm doing, probably. Let's be honest about it. So yeah, we'll move on from that. So we've got our tweets of the week that we're going to have a look at. So the best or possibly worst of social media. So we're going to start off with Tommy Martin, who came on last week and chatted with us on the chat. Tommy Martin put something out the other day asking about who he should fight next. So I asked him, are you heading to lightweight, Tommy? If so, I'm sure it won't happen, but Ahara Davis would be a great fight. Which he replied with, if I can have a baseball bat in my contract, otherwise Mr. Davis can go away with them long arms. I'm a big fan of Ahara. So yeah, they had a bit of interaction after that. Peter Fury putting up a picture of Tyson Fury that says, they say you are what you eat. Well, I don't remember eating a fucking legend. So yeah, good luck. This was my personal favourite. I'll reveal this in stages. So Scott Quigg tweeted out a big thank you to Chiquitos for the gold card, #Mexican. And Carl Frampton replied to both of them with a picture of him with his arms in the air saying, here lads, can I get one? So clearly still happy with his result there. I like this one from Lou DeBella, the American promoter. Be a middleweight Canelo, fight Triple G, fight Andy Lee Boxing at 160. If you're a 155 pounder, move down to 154 and admit you're a bit of a chicken, which I think sums it up quite well. Final one, Dillian White on the back of Del Boy Chisora, going slightly mental over in Germany at the Pulev weigh-in, and just going on a bit of a mad one. I feel sorry for Del Boy Chisora. He keeps getting hit by bottles and shouting, he's glass me, # bottle magnet. Which, bless him. So, right, that's our tweets of the week done. So we're going to move on to our regular article of Hot or Not. So, we've now got Adriane back. You might notice she's changed. It might be a giveaway. That's what we're going to do in a bit. So we're going to ask you various people involved with Steve's stable and business, and we're going to ask, are they hot or not? So we're going to start off with, he won at the weekend. Is he going to win tonight? The Mexican, Johnny Garton. Oh, Johnny, feel that.
I think he's a great boxer, but for me,
he's got a lovely personality.
Yeah, leave it at that.
Oh, Christ.
Oh God, he's good.
Here we go. Robin Deacon.
He thinks he's so hot. Robin, I know you probably watch him, but dude, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say not again. Not.
When you say not again, to clarify, you're saying not as in yeah. Oh man, Wadi Camacho. Big cruiserweight Southern Area champion.
Yeah,
lovely man.
Yeah, Wadi is my friend. I know his missus very well, so I'm sure she'll have no problem with me saying he's hot. So yeah, he's hot.
Ah, he's hot. Excellent. Final one, becoming a regular whip for Goodwin Boxing, David Evans. You alright, David, after what you called me the weekend?
Not.
No,
definitely
David.
Not. Sorry, David.
Shame. Right, let's hit some of the interactions quickly. Jamie Spate, Lee Haskins and Andrew Selby both for stoppage wins. I know Jamie Spate was down sparring Andrew Selby before he fought Matthew Chandler and thought he was a very, very special talent. JP Smith, Martin, you owe me a tenner. I laid a double on Canelo by KO and Barroso win versus Collar on your advice. Can I have it in 2 fivers? But no, frankly, that's your own mistake for listening to me. Right, what we're going to do now is something a little bit cool. We've got Adriane on here. I was told the other day by Kelvin about how good you are, especially on pads. So we're going to ask Kelvin to come out from behind the camera, get the pads out.
Do my hair and put gloves on. So you
You're
might
going
need to talk for a little bit.
We'll pad it out slightly, pardon the pun. And Adriane is going to do some pad work with Kelvin, so we thought it'd be a good opportunity to showcase her skills and how hard.
And then she's going to chop you down.
Yeah, right. So stupidly, they don't look very heavy gloves.
They're 10 ounces.
10 ounces is quite heavy, you know?
Behave. Right, yeah. So Steve suggested earlier, after she warmed herself up properly and is in full flow, I'm going to take a clean body shot from Adriane. So yeah, I'm delighted about that.
And it's a left up and on, which is a big danger shot.
We go for a combination.
That's very good of you, Steve.
Yeah, no, cheers, Steve, for offering up.
5 punch left up combo.
And again, for clarification, before we started this, Steve suggested to the head, right? So we vetoed that on the basis that I don't want to get iced on the carpet. So yeah, once Adriane is done warming up with Kev and showing us her skills, I'm going to become the pad. John McCallum, can't believe you picked Sahal over me, Candice. I'm heartbroken. That's in reference to last week where poor old John got left behind.
Second place, isn't he? Second place.
Jamie Spate, hope you've got some Pampers on, mate. Oh, don't. Scott Davis, how many shows planned for this year, Steve?
I think of all the Goodwin boxing shows, there's around about, I think there's 10 left. 10 to go this year.
This year?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Right, so it looks like they're warmed up. What I'm going to do is go and excuse myself and run away. But move out the way, and we'll let these two take centre stage.
We're just doing it
Get
here.
some pads.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not really warm, so we've never boxed before, so we might not gel, but we're going to go with the flow.
And that's right. Jump. 1, 2. Do it again. Look on the end. Do it again. Do it again. Uppercut left up. Do it again. Back hand on the end. And then roll. Good. And then right hand on the end. Good. Do it again. Good jab. Double jab back hand. Do it again. And again. Lift up right hand. Do it again. And then roll right hand. Good left hook on the end of that. Good back hand on the end of that. Good jab. Good jab, step right hand over the top.
Thanks to Mandy for what's then.
Good left hook on the end. Not aware of that.
Don't tire out too much, Kev.
Right, he's gone, hasn't he?
Clean off!
Good left uppercut, left hook. Back hand on the end. Good again. Good then jab. And jab. Good move, give me this. Just uppercut. Good again. Hook on the end. Good, he's back. That's what that's hand jab. Good, 1, 2. 1, 2, second right hand. Second right hand straight up. Good again. Good again. Double.
I agree, Robin.
Okay, and relax.
Thank you.
Feel nice and warm?
Very warm.
Are you knackered? Right,
That was your intention, right?
so what we got? Danny Cousins, Kelvin, we're both in the away changing rooms on the 16th. I'll see you there, bud.
Let's have it, mate.
Jamie Spate, she asked you to take the bins out, you just do it. Blaine Courtney, good luck, mate. You're going down. Excellent. Robin Deakin, Padman is shit. Hashtag just saying.
You're not wrong, Robin.
Olivia Goodwin, go on, girl. Yeah, cheer her on as I'm about to get smashed. Right, okay, so, stupidly, we've agreed with 10 ounce. I should have been 16.
You can take the gloves off.
Right.
How many shots am I allowed?
Two.
Right?
Face that way.
2.
Face the camera.
Just stop at 12.
Why is he allowed to say 2?
Face the camera. Face
Right.
the camera. Left foot's got a land.
I genuinely.
But
Fucking hell.
I want you to say like
Hands in the head, Ryan. Hands in the
I
head.
genuinely am bricking it.
close your eyes.
Close my eyes. Right.
What? Just to clarify, how many shots are you doing?
I want to keep it a surprise.
Okay, excellent.
Last time I did this, I paid for it in Amsterdam. How many we?
Come on!
One big left though.
Oh, fuck me! Oh, Jesus!
1, 2.
Again. Put your arms up.
No! I'm worse at counting than Kelvin! Jesus!
I swear I saw snake come out of his mouth.
One more! Come on! Jesus Christ!
Anything to say, Martin, on the end of that? Or?
No, absolutely not. Oh. Right, yeah, to clarify, she hits very hard.
Keep turning on.
I feel good now. I'm ready for a session.
For those that don't know, I've done a couple of like white collar bouts before and not been downed or like that.
Honestly, been at or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Like it is as hard. I've never taken a knee.
Sorry, I missed that on the camera. Can we do it again? I was just off slightly.
No, right.
Yeah.
Your turn, mate. Your turn. Robin Deakin, Adriane, I don't want to date you either, you beat me up. Brad, can't wait for this, yeah, cheers. Olivia, highlight of my night, Danny Cousins, just laughing.
Adam Middlebrook, a friend of mine from school.
Adam Middlebrook, Steve, if Spurs finish above us, would you take one for the team?
Yeah, go on then.
Right, okay, that's a yes from Steve if Spurs finish above Arsenal. Right, yeah, so that's about it, legend. No, I'm not a legend playing, I'm foolish. Right, so thank you so much to everyone because you've all made journeys here today. I'm not going to thank you really now. Yeah, okay. But yeah.
There should be a rematch on the show when I'm boxing. And
Good idea.
That's a great rematch.
I know my money's on.
And mine. But yeah, no, that wasn't quite what I intended this afternoon. So no, thank you so much, Keith
Thank you very much,
and
mate.
Kelvin.
Thank you, Steve, thank you.
Cheers,
And
Kelvin.
well done, man.
Thank
Well
you.
And Adriane, thank you.
Oh.
And thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.